Good morning, students. I hope you all are good. So, today we are going to discuss chapter number 5, remaining part, that is acids, bases, and salts. In this lecture, we will discuss water of crystallization, then ionic compounds and electrical conductivity, dissociation of ions and electrical conductivity, electrolysis, and electrolysis of water. These 4-5 topics we are going to discuss in this lecture. Okay? So your first topic is water of crystallization. So if you want to understand what is water of crystallization, then you have to perform this activity. Okay, so on the basis of this activity, I will explain what is water of crystallization. So you can see here, one Werner is here, one test tube is here, test tube holder is here, and in this test tube we have taken copper sulfate, that is called blue vitriol, right? So you can see here, take some crystals of blue vitriol in two test tubes. What you have to take? You have to take copper sulfate, or that is called blue vitriol. Chemical formula of blue vitriol is copper CuSO4.5H2O. This 5H2O is water molecules present in the copper sulfate crystal. Okay, this 5 here, number of water of crystallization is 5. If you hit this copper sulfate, this 5H2O will be removed. Okay, so add some, we have taken two test tube, we have taken copper sulfate in 2 test tube, right? Add some water in one test tube and shake it. So in one test tube you have to add water. Okay, so what did you see? So if you add water in copper sulfate, that copper sulfate will completely dissolve in water, right? So what did you see? You will see that all copper sulfate has been dissolved completely in water. What is the color of the solution form? You can say blue or sky blue. We can say the color of the solution will be blue. Okay, now heat the other test tube on low flame of a Werner. In second test tube you don't add water, you have to simply heat, right? You have to heat with the help of Werner. What do you see? Initially the color of the copper sulfate or blue vitriol is blue. So blue will change in white after heating, right? So what change did occur in the color of the blue vitriol? So blue vitriol will became colorless or white powder. Okay, what did you see in the upper part of the test tube? So you can see here. Here be upper part in the test tube we see drops of water. Here is the drops of water. So from where these water droplets came? So this water droplets came from this copper sulfate, right? Because there is 5 molecules of water present in the crystal of copper sulfate, right? So when second test tube cools down, if this test tube cools down, add some water in it and shake. Whenever after cooling the test tube, you have to add some water in this test tube. Again, you will see that now this is white in color or colorless, but whenever you will add water in this test tube, white color will become blue or sky blue, right? Which was initially. So what inference can be drawn from this observation? So you can see here, this is not permanent change. This is temporary change, and we know that if there is temporary change, that is physical change, right? That is physical change. Okay. So what is the color of the when the second test tube cools down, add some water in it and shake. What is the color of the resulting solution? Again, blue. I have already told you. What inference can be drawn from this observation? This is the physical change. This is the physical change, okay? On heating, the crystalline structure of blue vitriol broken down to form a colorless powder. I have explained here. And water came out. Water came out here after heating. This water was part of the crystal structure of blue vitriol. Okay? Because water molecules are arranged in a specific manner in copper sulfate, crystalline copper sulfate. Okay, it is called water of crystallization, right? It is called water of crystallization. It means, what is water of crystallization? The water molecules present in the crystal or crystalline form of copper sulfate, so that this water molecules is called water of crystallization. On adding water to the white powder, a solution was formed which had the same color as the solution in the first test tube, right? From this we come to know that no chemical change occurred in the crystals of blue vitriol due to heating. There is no any chemical change. This is the physical change, because remember, chemical change is permanent change and physical change is temporary change, right? Losing water on heating blue vitriol, breaking down of the crystal structure, losing blue color and regaining blue color on adding water are all physical changes, right? This has been excluded. So you can repeat the same activity for ferrous sulfate, right? Ferrous sulfate, the chemical formula of ferrous sulfate is FeSO4 7H.5 It means how many number of water crystallization present in ferrous sulfate? Since there is 7H2O, so number of water crystallization will be 7H2O. Similarly, sodium carbonate, then Na2CO3.10H2O. Then 10H2O is the number of water crystallization. One more thing, see, this is blue vitriol. Number of water crystallization is 5. So simply you can see here, these 5 water molecules are present in the crystal of copper sulfate, right? So if you simply heat, this water will remove, and this water is inside upper part of the test tube. You can see here. Okay, so this is blue. This is blue. Initially copper sulfate is blue in color, and if you heat, it became white. Now after heating, this the color of the blue vitriol is white, and if you add again after cooling, if you add water again, the color will change again, white to blue. So this is the physical change. Here is 5H2O. This 5H2O was the part of blue vitriol. Okay. Now your next topic is ionic compounds and electrical conductivity. So what you have to do in this, try this. You have to prepare a solution of 1 gram sodium chloride in 50 ml water. Okay. Take 2. This is a 50 ml water. In this is the 50 ml water. In this 50 ml water, there is 1 gram sodium chloride. Here in this, there is 1 gram sodium chloride. 2 electrical wires. Two electrical wires. One wire is this one, and second one is this one. Connect one wire to the positive terminal of 6 volt battery. One wire is connected to the 6 volt battery. Positive terminal of the 6 volt battery is connected to one wire, while connecting the other wires to the negative terminal of the battery. Another wire is connected to the negative terminal of the battery using a bulb and a switch. Okay, and with the support you have to add these 2 wire in the solution of sodium chloride. Okay. Remove the insulating cladding from 3 centimeters. You can see insulating cladding is removed from here. This is 3 centimeter inside the 1 gram sodium chloride solution. Take the salt solution in Take the salt solution in a 100 ml capacity beaker. This is 50 ml water, and the capacity of the beaker is 100 ml, right? Beaker, and immerse the uncovered ends of 2 wires in it, keeping the wire erect with the help of support. You can see here, right? And switch on the current. If you have to switch on the current, if you press this switch, circuit will complete and current will flow. So you have to show that in case of sodium chloride solution, bulb will glow or not. So listen, you have to take different substance. So first we have taken sodium chloride. So in case of sodium chloride, bulb will glow, and similarly, if you have to take in second time, you have to take like you can see here 1 gram glucose after cleaning all the beakers and electrodes very well. One more thing, this is called anode. The reason if any electrode is connected from the positive terminal of the battery, that is called anode, and if any electrode is connected from the negative terminal of the battery, that is called cathode. So here this will be cathode and this will be anode. Okay. So here again you have to take 1 gram urea in the solution, and you have to repeat same experiment in similar manner, and you have to check whether valve is glowing or not. You have to take urea and you have to show valve is glowing or not. Similarly, 5 ml dilute H2SO4, valve is glowing or not. 5 ml dilute sodium hydroxide, valve, and you have to check valve is glowing or not, right? And record your observation. So I will tell you, if you take sodium chloride, copper sulfate, sulfuric acid and sodium hydroxide NaOH, in that particular case bulb will glow. But in case of glucose and urea, bulb will not glow. So what is the conclusion from this substance? So we can say the substance which are ionic in nature, or that substance after dissolving in water, if they produce ions, in that case bulb will glow, right? But in case of urea and glucose, if you dissolve urea and glucose in the water, they do not produce any ions. That's why bulb does not glow in case of urea and glucose. Always remember, in the wire current is due to flow of electrons, but in case of solution, current is due to movement of ions, respective ions. Always remember. So ions conduct electricity in solution, and electrons conduct electricity in the wire. Okay. Now you can see here, use your brain power. With which solution did the bulb glow? So I have explained you. Which solutions are electrical conductors? So which solution are electrical conductors? Solution like sodium chloride, copper sulfate, sulfuric acid and sodium hydroxide. Solutions are conductor. Okay. So you can see here, electrons conduct electricity through electrical wires, and ions conduct electricity through a liquid or a solution. Okay. Electrons leave the battery at the negative terminal, complete the electric circuit and enter the battery at the positive terminal, right? When there is a liquid or a solution in a circuit, two rods, wire or plates are immersed in it. These are called electrodes. Electrodes are usually made of conducting solid. Any conducting solid you can take. The electrodes connected to the negative terminal of the battery by means of a conducting wire is called cathode. I have explained you. And the electrodes connected to the positive terminal of the battery is called anode. Okay. So why does the electric circuit get completed on immersing the electrodes in certain liquids or solution? In order to understand this phenomenon, let us look more closely at the solution in the above activities which were found to be electrical conductor. So its explanation is given here. In the next activity, here actually above activity, but here is a given on in the next activity, right? You can see in the activity it was found that aqueous solution of compounds NaCl means sodium chloride. Listen, this some part of this activity is given on the next page. Okay. Aqueous solution of the compounds like sodium chloride, CuSO4, copper SO4 means sulfate, that is copper sulfate, H2SO4 sulfuric acid, or we can say hydrogen sulfate, and sodium hydroxide was electrically conductors, right? Out of this, NaCl, sodium chloride, and copper sulfate are salts. H2SO4 is a strong acid. Remember, H2SO4 is a strong acid, and sodium hydroxide is a strong base. We have seen that salts that salts, strong acids and strong bases dissociate almost completely in their aqueous solution, right? Therefore, aqueous solutions of all these three contains large number of cations and anions. What is cations? Those atoms on which there is positive charge, that is called cations, and those anions means if on any atoms or groups, on the groups of any atoms there is negative charge, that is called anions, right? But in this case, in case of sodium chloride, if we dissolve sodium chloride dissolve like Na plus Cl minus. So in this case, Na plus, that is sodium, is cations and chloride Cl minus is anions. Okay. Here is the example of dissociation of ions. Negative one is anions and positive is cations. So this is positive this is positive, this is negative. This electrode is positive, it means this is anode. This is anode. This is negative, that is cathode. Okay. So obviously negatively ions will attract towards positive electrodes and positively ions will attract towards negative electrodes, that is cathode. Okay. So you can see here, a characteristic of the liquid state is the mobility of its particles. Mobility means movement of the particles. Positive ions will move towards cathode and negative ions will move towards anode. Due to this mobility, the positively charged cations in the solutions are attracted towards negative electrode or cathode, or movement towards cathode. On the other hand, the negatively charged ions move in the direction of anode. I have already explained you. Okay. The movement of ions in the solution towards respective electrodes amounts to the conduction of electricity through the solution. From this, you will understand that those liquids or solutions which contain a large number of dissociated ions conducts electricity. But in case of urea and glucose, there is not a large number of ions present in the solution. That's why that is bad conductor of electricity and bulb was not glowing at all. Okay. Now next topic is electrolysis. So what is electrolysis? So again, with the help of example or with the help of this apparatus, I will explain you what is electrolysis. So for electrolysis, what you have to take, we have to take solution of 1 gram copper sulfate in 50 ml water. So this is 50 ml water. This is 50 ml water in which 1 gram copper sulfate is dissolved. Water in 100 ml capacity, and the capacity of beaker is of 100 ml. This is 100 ml beaker, and this is 50 ml. In 50 ml water, there is 1 gram copper sulfate is dissolved. Okay, take solution of 1 gram copper sulfate in 50 ml water in a 100 ml capacity beaker. Use a thick plate of copper as a anode. Why this is called anode? The reason is positive terminal of the battery is connected to the copper. That's why this is anode. This is, I will write here A. This is anode and this is cathode. This is carbon. This is carbon electrode. Okay. C for cathode here. Carbon electrode. That is carbon electrode is called cathode. The reason is this carbon electrode is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. That's why this is called cathode and this is called anode. Always remember, if you take your copper sulfate solution, then you have to take your copper electrode, and if you have to take zinc sulfate, then you have to use zinc electrode. If you use magnesium sulfate, then you have to use magnesium electrode. Okay, that is not written here, but I am telling you. Arrange the apparatus as shown in the figure and pass electric current. You have to pass electric current. This is say ammeter. What is ammeter? Ammeter is the instrument to measure electric current in the circuit. That is not written, but this is ammeter. This is switch. Now this switch is off. If you press, this will come here and this will be in contact with here. Now circuit will complete and current will flow through the solution. Do you see any changes? So its explanation is given here. So I will explain you. This is visible. Yes, this is visible. In the above activity, copper appears to have deposited on the portion of the cathode immersed in the solution. Listen. If you dissolve 1 gram copper sulfate in 50 ml water, what happened? They will break, or they will dissociate. They will dissociate like, see, this is visible, copper sulfate. This will dissociate like Cu2 plus or Cu plus 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 SO4 2 minus. Okay, so this is Cu2 plus. So this Cu2 plus will cation or anion. This is cation since there is positive charge on the atoms, right? So cations will attract towards negative electrodes and SO4 will attract towards anode, right? So all the Cu2 plus cations are deposited here, but this electrode is connected to negative terminal of the battery. So electrons are coming from the here. So due to this electrons, Cu2 plus becomes Cu only, because if you listen, if you see, suppose this is Cu2 plus, and if you give 2 electrons, there are many electrons coming from this electrode. The reason, since this electrode are connected from the negative terminal of the battery, so Cu2 plus here Cu2 plus will attract in this direction, but there are so many electrons are coming from the cathode. So this, due to the electrons, this Cu2 plus becomes neutral and this will become copper only, Cu only, right? Only copper. So copper will deposited on cathode, right? Now I will read here. In the above activity, copper appears to have deposited on the portion of cathode immersed in the solution. How did this happen? When electric current started flowing through the circuit, when electric current started flowing through the circuit, the cations that is Cu plus plus, or we can say Cu2 plus ions in the solution got attracted toward the cathode. I have explained you. Copper atoms are formed when electrons coming out from the cathode. Electrons are coming from the cathode with Cu2 plus ions. A deposit of the, this is visible, yes, this is visible. A deposit of the copper appeared on the cathode. Here copper will be deposited, right? Even though the Cu2 plus ions in the solution were used up, of course Cu2 plus, all the Cu2 plus came here on the cathode. In this manner, the color of the solution remains the same. Your answer, you may ask, sir, this color is due to Cu2 plus, but all the Cu2 plus are used up by this cathode. So there is fade in color, but there is no fade in color. The reason is, I will tell you the reason. The color of the solution remained same, because, now I am telling the reason, because while electric current was on, electrons were removed from the copper atoms of the anode. Now I am talking about this one. This is anode. Because while electric current was on, electrons were removed from the copper atoms of the anode and sent to the battery through the electric wire. See, electrons came from here and electrons will come here, and this electricity, this electrode is connected from the positive terminal of the battery. So these electrons were used by the positive terminal of the battery. So this from electrons came from here to the battery. Okay, so again electrons came from here to battery. So again there will be degradation of this anode, and again there is Cu2 plus will be there. If you listen, if I say there is here Cu atom is here, and if you remove Cu, if you write Cu2 plus, then you have to remove 2 electrons minus. So same thing is happening here. Copper atom is here, but electrons are removed from here, from the positive terminal of the battery. So this copper again became Cu2 plus. So in the solution, so due to that, see this Cu2 plus, the color does not change. Okay, so because while electric current was on, electrons were removed from the copper atoms. Electrons were removed from the copper atoms of the anode and sent to the battery through the electric wire, This is visible. The Cu2 plus ions formed in this manner again entered the solution and entered Cu2 plus formed and entered to the solution. In this way, decomposition of the solute means here is solute is this electrode. Solute in the solution took place due to electric current. This is called electrolysis. There are two parts in the electrolysis process. These are the cathode reaction and the anode reaction. Remember, there are two parts. First one is there is cathode reaction and anode reaction. The two parts of electrolysis process take place in the above activity are shown below. Okay, listen, one more thing. If you pass electricity for a longer time, there will be degradation, and the size of the electrode will reduced. Okay, two reaction. This is important. This is cathode reaction. So of course on cathode, copper atoms, see this is cathode, this is cathode. So on the cathode, I will explain you how to remember this reaction. On the cathode, Cu2 plus will attract. On Cu2 plus aqueous means there is water, and these electrons from where came? So these electrons came from the negative terminal of the battery, right? So this Cu2 plus will neutralize from two electrons. So now here is only Cu. So there is only Cu atoms, copper atoms on the cathode, and on the anode, you can see here copper. From this copper atom, this is the made up of copper. So from here electrons will remove, there is Cu2 plus, and this Cu2, sorry, this is not visible. Now this is visible. On anode, this is anode, that is made up of copper. So from here all the electrons were used by positive terminal of the cell. So from this anode, electrons will remove electrons will remove. So this will become Cu2 plus 2 electrons are removed from this copper, right? In the same, if I ask one question from you, if you take pure water, I said pure water, in that case current will pass or not? The current will not pass, because pure water will behave like insulator. There is no, the dissociation of pure water is very less. So there is no any ions present in the solution. I am talking about pure water. But if you add some impurities like sodium chloride, then in that case current will flow. That we have seen in the previous activity. Your next topic is electrolysis of water, right? So again you have I have to explain with the help of this. Try this. So see, in this, try this, what you have to what we have taken: dissolve 2 grams salt in 500 ml pure water. So you have to add 2 gram salt. Salt means NaCl that we use in our day-to-day life. That is NaCl. In 500 pure water. This is 500 pure water in which we have used 2 gram, dissolved 2 gram salt. Take 250 ml of this solution in 5 ml capacity. This is listen. The capacity of this beaker is of 500 ml, but you have to take only 50%. That is 250 ml of this solution in a 500 ml capacity beaker. This is 250 ml. Connect two electrical wire to the positive and negative terminal of the power supply. Of course, positive terminal, this is negative terminal. So this one will be cathode and this one will be anode. The reason why this is anode, since this is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Why this is cathode, since this wire is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. Remove the insulating cladding from about 2 cm portion at the other end of the wires. You have to remove the insulation from 2 cm. These are the 2 electrodes. Fill up 2 test tube up to the rim with the prepared dilute salt solution. So you have to use 2 test tube, and in 2 test tube what you have to take? You have to take again same solution, and you have to fill this till here. Initially the level of water was till here, both were filled. Fill 2 test tube up to the rim with the prepared dilute salt solution. Invert them on the electrodes without allowing any air to enter. You have to invert like this. Start the electric current under 6 volt potential difference. This is 6 volt battery. But observe what happened in the test tube after some time. So what you will observe, I will tell you. Did you see the gas bubbles forming near the electrodes in the test tube? So you will see that, this is the bubble, this is air bubble or gas bubble, that is more accurate to say. Gas bubble you can see here, and we know that gas bubble is going upward direction. It means gas bubble is lighter than water. So this will collect here, and the level of the water will decrease, and all the gas will collect here. So on the cathode, hydrogen gas will collect, and you can see here on the anode, oxygen gas will collect here, and you can see the level of the gas is twice. Here is twice as compared to oxygen. So in this test tube, gas is collecting here, but the ratio is 2:1. 2:1. Here is hydrogen, here is oxygen. Hydrogen is twice as compared to oxygen. Always remember. Are these gas heavier or lighter than water? So obviously gas is lighter than water. Are the volume of the gases collected over the solution in 2 test tubes are same or different? Obviously this is different and they are in the ratio 2:1. Okay. So students, these two reactions you have to learn. Here is written something. Whatever I have explained, same thing is written here. Okay. So on cathode reaction, cathode 2H2O elements liquid plus electrons, it gives H2 plus hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas, I have told you, hydrogen gas will collect near cathode. So cathode hydrogen gas will here plus 2OH minus aqueous. Aqueous means water. Anode reaction, on anode which gas? Oxygen gas. So on anode reaction there is oxygen plus 4H plus 4E. So this you have to learn. Okay. So same thing you have to repeat like after taking H2SO4, sodium hydroxide. So similarly in same manner, hydrogen and oxygen will form in case of electrolysis of H2SO4 and sodium hydroxide. Hydrogen gas will form at the cathode and oxygen gas will form on the anode in the ratio 2:1, right? In case of sodium hydroxide, hydrogen gas will form near cathode and oxygen gas will form on anode in the ratio 2:1. Okay, so this research is excluded. Okay, so what are the applications of electrolysis? So many applications are there. In electroplating we use electrolysis, extraction of metal we use electrolysis, etc. Okay, so this was all about your chapter number 5, that is acids, bases and salts. Okay, I will post the question answer in the WhatsApp group. Now we will start reflection of light, that is chapter number 11 in the next lecture. Till then, have a nice day. Take care. Thank you.